Good morning Trinidad and Tobago. Good morning to all of the loyal listeners of the Street 919 FM. Right, let me see here.
Isn't that a beautiful name?
Yeah, it is, not. Right, so good morning to all of you loyal listeners. Thank you for choosing the Street 919 FM. How's your frequency of choice this Sunday morning as we head up to the 1 o'clock drive time? Right, so we were having some little technical issues before with the Facebook stream, but it's up now. Yes, so we good. So you can also join us on YouTube. Yeah, YouTube is good as well. So good morning to Mr. and Mrs. Regis. Good morning to Mr. and Mrs. Giuseppe. Morning, Angie. Good morning to all of the Umanoga. Mother Tunapuna, good morning. Patsy Edwards, Nicole Caesar. Good morning to you, Maureen, Bob, Guy, I think. Morning. Yes, I had a very good time in Tobago over the last couple of days. It was an enjoyable one. It was a work trip, but I was able to squeeze in a little bit of leisure. So I must say I need to return to Tobago soon for a little more play, less work. Yeah. So good morning to Maslin Ned. I'm seeing Matt Ramnath there as well. Good morning. What else we have there? Eric, good morning. Arlene Stewart, good morning to you. Sharon Williams, good morning. Alison Samuel, morning, Alison. Maria Lyons, good morning. Shedley Jimenez, good morning. Paula Trim, Linda Tracy. Yeah, good morning to all of you. Gail Lawrence, good morning. Yeah, so it is now, wow, how time flies, 25 past 11. So let's get straight into it. So, I am looking for Sushila. Morning. I'm looking for Sushila this morning. Yes, Sushila. No, not Wade Mark wife, not that one. The other one. The other Sushila. The one that fails to acknowledge and to recognize that she's a washed up politician. She has served her time and she needs to pack up and go home. That's Sushila. That's the one I'm looking for. The one who has caused quite a stir over the last couple of days based on what can now be perceived as racially divisive comments. And it's amazing the amount of people coming out to defend the defenseless. All of these, pathetic members of the illiterati. I have heard some of the most asinine, ridiculous, pathetic attempts at defending Mrs. Prasad Bissasa's statement. It is ridiculous. I see now the Pottowns, the UNC Pottowns have come out, the likes of David Naked, the likes of Marsha Walker, and others. Well, I haven't heard from the Doglaya yet, but I imagine he would be among the worst of the lot. Maybe if I have a little time to waste today, I'd probably go on Doglaya politics and see what he has had to say. Oh, but they're coming out in the numbers, my gosh. Yeah. So let me just replay this quickly, right? I'll pull it up here. Let me play it, right? Listen.
This lady went on a platform last week and 3 or 4 times. Kamla Sushila Prasad Bisasa. Isn't that a beautiful name? What problem you have with my name? What's wrong with my name? Yeah, Camille. At least I have a name for my ancestors. Where you got yours from? Your name is that of a slave master. So be real, understand. We respect you, we respect ourselves, and I told everyone.
Right, so if Mrs. Regis had simply said, if she had said, Kamla Prasad Bisasa, you have no issue with that, right? If she had just repeated Kamla Prasad Bisasa several times, I have no problem with that. But because she mentioned your middle name, which up until now I think most people would not have known, all of a sudden that introduces racial connotations to your name. So it wasn't simply a case of, as we know and most people know, when it is that you want to make a point about somebody, you would stress their whole government name. So Mrs. Regis said, Kamla Sushila Prasad Bisasa. So I want to ask Sushila this morning, is it that Sushila is more Indian than Kamla? Is it that Sushila is more Indian than Prasad? Is it that Sushila is more Indian than Bisesa? So you have an issue with Mrs. Regis talking up, calling you by your whole name, Kamla Sushila Prasad Bisesa, all because she mentioned Sushila. That make it racist, right? I have heard on a number of occasions Kamla Prasad Bisesa on her Monday night forum in reference to the Minister of National Security on several occasions. Fitzgerald Ethelbert Hines. Fitzgerald Ethelbert Hines. And at times she could be so damn disrespectful, she will drop off the Fitzgerald and talking about Ethelbert, Ethelbert Gona, Ethelbert this, and Ethelbert that. My question is, when she decided to call Fitzgerald Ethelbert Hines, what was the significance of that, of calling out the man's full name? So she couldn't just say Fitzgerald Hines. Everybody knows who that is. So when she mounts a Monday Night Forum platform to talk about Fitzgerald Ethelbert Hines, and she focuses and she emphasizes on Ethelbert, and decides to drop the Fitzgeralds and focus on Ethelbert, is that racist? Or what is she trying to do there? Is it that she is just stressing on the name, or she probably trying to say, well, poke fun at the man's name? That is my question. So it's okay for her to mount platform and call out the Minister of National Security's full name to make her point. But when it is a member of the PNM doing the same thing, stressing on her name, because we want to make sure we let you know we're talking about one Kamla Prasad Bisesa in particular. Because it could have plenty Kamla Prasad Bisesa out there listening, but we're letting you know, you, Kamla Sushila Prasad Bisesa, is you be talking to. That one. But she, of course, as is the normal thing with her, decide to make it a racial thing. And then they like to accuse the PNM of blowing the racial dog whistle. You see, the problem is, too many times, the members of the literati allow Prasad Bisesa to get away with murder. A few years ago, when she was speaking at a Monday night forum in Rio Claro, and she made the point, and she stated, the reason why the PNM doesn't want to open the Cuba Hospital, and the reason why they don't want to open the UWI campus in Debe is because they perceive South to be Indian and Indo-based. What did the members of the UNC literati say? That wasn't a racist statement. That wasn't blowing the racial dog whistle. Because the fact of the matter is that the Cuba Hospital, right, if you're heading south, is on the left-hand side of the road. But on the right-hand side, just lower down, you have the National Aquatic Center and you have the Cycling Center, both of which the same racist PNM opened, right? The UNC, the PP billet, the same racist PNM opened those two facilities in the same Cuba. But I don't know if it is perhaps that side of Cuba where the hospital is, that is the Indian side of Cuba, and the side where the Aquatic Center is and where the Cycling Center is, that is the non-Indian side of Cuba. So that's why they opened that. How stupid, how dotish and asinine a statement was that? That you didn't realize you all built several facilities in the same constituency. Two open. They didn't open one. And the only reason that you could find to say why they didn't open it is because they perceive South to be Indian. And there was no condemnation for that. Right? Yeah. What did you all do? All you clap. You ring your bell and blow your conch shell. Yes, tell them. Because that made sense to you all, right? When it is for the election, they had the banana ads. And those persons who took offense to it raised issue. And the question was put to Mrs. Prasad Bisesa about the ads. What did she say? I haven't seen the ads. I am not aware of what you speak. But yet still, at the same time she said that, those very same ads featured prominently on her personal Facebook page. All of the ads were on her personal Facebook page. But you come and give the population a cock and bull story about, well, I am not aware of the ads. I have not seen them. I don't know what you're talking about. Well, you should have just visit your Facebook page, but then, you would blame the admin. And even after the uproar, they didn't take it down from her personal Facebook page. When she made the comment about black man, blank man, whichever one she says, she said blank man, okay. And there was some uproar about that. They let her off for the hook. Now she come with a statement about, what is wrong with my name? Isn't that a very nice name? And trying to blow the racial dog whistle because you realize that's the only thing that you have to stir up your base. You have nothing else. Nothing of substance. Every allegation of corruption you all have made against this administration has fallen by the wayside. While you talk about the destruction of the economy and all kind of foolishness, fallen by the wayside. So you know what? When in doubt, run back to the old salvo. Let me call race. Right? Let's introduce race into it and stir up that, because we know plenty of people from the UNC don't like Rowley because Rowley, well, we know why that is. I want to play something for Sushila, right? Since she wants to, let me get this here. 3, 4, right. Since the godly lady wants to downplay the significance of slavery, the impact that it would have had, right? So you all got your names from slave master, as if our African ancestor had a choice in it. So they said, they wake up one morning and master say, come, Wale, come. Well, you want some nice European names? Yeah, come and choose it now. What do you want? What name you like? John? All right, you are John. What name you like? Robert? Well, all right, you take that name now. Yeah, come, nice. Yeah, you looking like a Camille. Yes, you take that name. Yes, that's how it went, right? All right, hold on. I'm gonna play this for the godly lady.
I want to hear you say your name. Your name is Toby. What's your name?
Kunta. Lord God, help that boy. They're gonna whip him dead.
What's your name? Say it. Toby. Who are you? Say your name. What's your name?
Toby.
Hi. Say it again. Say it louder so they all can hear you. What's your name?
Toby. My name is Toby.
Hi. That's a good nigger. Cut him down.
I want somebody send that clip to Sushila for me. Send that to Sushila, right? And let her know. It wasn't just names that was taken from persons of African descent, right? And persons from Africa. It wasn't just the name. It was everything else. Everything else, right? If it is that they perceive that they would use their drums and other instruments, whatever, to communicate and so on. However, you could break them, take everything, strip them of every aspect of the culture. So it wasn't just the name, Sushila, right? But you want to boast and you're feeling so good because, hey, I am proud that I have a rich East Indian name. But you, Camille, you didn't have that, right? You didn't have that name. You have a slave master name. Does the slave master give you that? So you are in no position to talk about my name. Again, I ask the question, when you're focusing on Ethelbert, and Ethelbert, what was the significance of that? That wasn't racist. So why were you stressing on Fitzgerald Hines' middle name? So you could do it, and it's not racist. But you had to pull your racist connotations into Camille Robinson Reggie's mentioning your middle name. But she wasn't the only person on the night to mention your middle name. Laurel Azama Leasing did it too. She racist too? Is she too racist? How come you're not talking about Laurel Azama Leasing? She mentioned it as well. Go back and play the clip and see. But that was the only thing that you could do. Let me see something here. Hold on. That's not it. What is the meaning of Sushila? According to Google, Sushila means good-tempered, well-disposed, derived from the Sanskrit prefix meaning good combined with conduct or disposition. This is a transcription of both the feminine form and the masculine form. Good-tempered and well-disposed. But if that be the case, and that's the definition of Sushila, she needs to drop that middle name forthwith, because she has disgraced the meaning. She is anything but good-tempered and well-disposed. The exact opposite, right? Maybe that's why she's the leader of the the opposition, the misleader of the opposition. Yeah? That's the only thing that she could have found. So we say Keith Christopher Rowley. When they say it, everybody said Keith Christopher Rowley. That's the man's name. What's wrong with that? So nothing wrong with mentioning his middle name. Yeah? That's okay. That's not racist. But one mention of your middle name, and oh gosh. Look at these racists. That's the only thing. That's the only connotation that you could get from that. Let me ask you something. Your husband's name is Gregory. Your son's name is Chris. And your grandson is Cristiano. What part of India those names come from? Delhi? Bangalore? Tell us now. Uttar Pradesh? What part of India Gregory come from? Chris and Cristiano. You proud of those names? If you're so proud of your East Indian heritage, why did you name your son Chris? Why did you allow him to name your grandson Cristiano? Is it that you're ashamed of your strong East Indian heritage? That you didn't see it fit to give them good, strong Hindu names? Madam, where Gregory get that name from? The same part of India where you went to Bendong and kissed foot when he was Prime Minister? I just ask him. Because to me, Gregory Strong sounds like a very strong, probably, I don't know, British name or so. He couldn't get any other name, right? No. What's your sister's last name? Newton. Well, I know a very prominent English inventor, Sir Isaac Newton. So we know that is a British name, right? So when it is that your sister decided to marry Mr. Newton, she had no issue with the name. She had no concerns that that was a slave master name. She proudly went and married Mr. Newton. And so she, Vidwati Newton. She's proud of that name. And? Right. But again, we want to come and blow the racial dog whistle. So now you cause a whole set of stew. Vasant Bharat, Devat Maharaj, Botiwari, Mala Dukaran, who was the UNC poster girl last time, right? Well, I love Mala too. Every time Mala Dukaran bad talk the PNM or criticizes the government's performance. Oh yes, love Mala. Well, they put out a whole post on Facebook, all Mala's credentials to reinforce, hey, do attack Mala, you know. You see all of these credentials Mala has here? She's well qualified to speak and criticize the PNM on economic issues, yes. But now, Mala decides she wants to start a petition calling for you to be removed. And all of a sudden, the UNC don't like her no more. No. She ain't no damn good. Who is she to talk? When she bad talking the PNM, she got to talk. But anytime she wants to raise an alarm against the misleader of the opposition, something wrong with her. All of a sudden, those credentials gone out the window. Let me play something else for you. Listen to this potong, this UNC potong. Yes, Marsha Walker, I calling you out. You're a damn UNC potong. And if you don't like it, well, lay down close to it. I calling you that this morning. Listen to this potong, Ole. Listen to it.
In recent times, many African persons have been choosing to change their names to names that reflect their African heritage, because we are moving away from that fear of our roots. We are turning towards embracing our roots. We are seeing parents choosing names with African backgrounds. We are seeing persons moving away from, let's be honest, slavery. So, let's get into this whole Kamala and the slave master comment. First of all, it's facts. It's facts. I don't have a culturally appropriate name. I don't have one of those names either. My parents were not way and they chose a name. But many of us walk around with names that came from our slave masters. That's what it is. Don't run from it. But here's what's worse. Let me tell you all a story. bigger than most children. So when bullying started, I used to have to say, Jess, you gotta take it, you know. You gotta take it. Because if you fight back, you will hurt somebody, child. And they won't remember that what you were doing was self-defense. That's exactly what happened. In case you all don't have the context or the history behind the comment yesterday, Camille Robinson Reggie stood on a political platform and insulted Kamala Persad-Bissessar. She insulted her heritage. She insulted her culture. She insulted her name. So what you want her to do? Sit down on the playground and take it? Now you get pushed back. You're crying? You get pushed back. Well, you didn't expect her to push back. You insulted her. You insulted her heritage. You insulted her history. You insulted her culture. So she pushed back with facts. She didn't lie to push back. It's facts she pushed back with. Bullies don't like to take what they're dishing out. Then time for the bullies of PNM to take it. But they don't like to take it. It's time for UNC to push back. She right. You stand up on a political platform and insult her. You and your supporters, you all cheered her on. Where was the media? Where was the outrage? So she pushed back yesterday. And now what, they want to cry? Listen, PNM. All they better go and investigate the pedophile ring. And stop talking about slave master name. That's where your name come from. Google it. Embrace it or change it. Change it just like Malcolm X, just like McCandle Dagger. Change it like all of those who have decided that we want to go back to our roots. And we're choosing more African appropriate names, more names that are closer to our culture. We're proud of it. But what you feel? Because you have a European name, you could have stood up and insulted us? Because, oh, you have a white people name? That's what you thought? You thought because your name came from Europe, you could insult her name? You're damn wrong. You should be apologizing. Never, I telling all you, Kamala will not apologize. All you want to know who advising her? Well, I advise her today to not apologize. We stand by you, Kamala Persad-Bissessar. Don't let nobody insult your name. Don't let nobody insult. When you're trying to belittle her on the political platform, you're trying to make her ashamed of her heritage. No, take pushback. Go and investigate the pedophile ring. Go and investigate pedophilia. My child crying. So, oh God.
Yeah, your child crying because she realized you're a blasted clown, a moron, a buffoon, and an idiot, and a pathetic one at that. You hear the lengths that this clown would go to defend Kamala Persad-Bissessar? You want to stand by her? Really? Really? Well, I would have played for you all David Naked, but his mouth a little too filthy, so I can't play his own. But he's a senator, UNC senator, appointed by the same Kamala Persad-Bissessar, right? Yeah, so I can't play his. Morning, Mr. Chance. I saw Mr. Chance would have posted it in a group that we're in, and he's calling for it to be shared so people can understand why it is this man doesn't deserve to be in the Senate or anywhere close to politics in this country, right? But Naked is calling out all those former all of the exiled UNC members, right? Those who have fallen out of favor with the party because they choose to exercise common sense over stupidity, over blind loyalty. So the likes of Dukaran, the likes of Vasan Bharat, and as I mentioned before, Devant Maraj and others. So once you dare to come and criticize Kamala Persad-Bissessar, you are exiled from the party. You are considered to be persona non grata, right? So I guess some of these people have come out and spoken against Mrs. Persad-Bissessar's comments, condemning it, and rightly so. And so Naked is taking a turn in all of their backsides. Okay, typical UNC response. I have seen some really, really disgusting. Let me see if I find this other one. Let's see. Good morning, Alison. Alison Haynes. Where's the other one? Let me see if I find that. Where is it? Where is it? Morning to Deanne Charles as well. See. All right. I'm not seeing that. Yeah, but the lengths that some of them are going to defend, and I want to let the members of the UNC know, the snowball chance in hell that you all thought you had of winning another general election in this country, every time your leader makes a statement like this, right, with no regard for the persons who it would offend, just remember, the very people whom she offends are the people whose votes you all need to pull off that magic trick. I wonder what Wade Mark has to say with respect to Mrs. Prasad Bisesa's statement. Because to me, Wade and Mark are probably slave masters' names. Are you now no longer proud of your name, Wade Mark? Are you going to change your name as Marsha Riley is suggesting? You need to get a strong African name that you can be proud of. You can't continue to walk around with Wade Mark. That is a slave master name. And Kamla Prasad Bisesa holds significant disdain, apparently, for persons with slave master names. Jerlene John. Jerlene. What is your take on this, Jerlene? Are you too going to look for a proper African name? Yeah, because based on what your leader said, your name comes from a slave master. You can't continue to carry around that name. No. You need a name that identifies with your rich cultural heritage. Now, let me make this point. I have no issue with persons who are Afrocentric. Right? I commend them. And oftentimes, I have encountered situations where people tell me, because of the color of my skin, because I would identify predominantly with the African race, that I should, be a little more Afrocentric. But you see, I understand, and I've done research, and I know that my heritage is not only African, right? My last name is French, and I would have read a book by Father Anthony de Vertile, which speaks to, estate owners and so on in Trinidad. And on my paternal side, my father's side, his family, you have a number of different names, Bossier and so on and whatnot, who were plantation owners back in the day, right? All that is part of my ancestry. I cannot deny that. It is what it is. I didn't ask to be born into that, but it is what it is. And I am not saying, and by no means am I downplaying the significance of my African roots, which is predominantly on my mother's side. But the fact of the matter is, I cannot deny the other aspects of my ancestry on my father's side, right? So even if there may have been, yes, that whole slavery element and so on, that would have been in it, but the fact of the matter is that there would have been the plantation owner side. Now, there's nothing to boast about or anything. I'm merely saying that I need to be aware of all aspects of my ancestry. And to come and tell me that I need to embrace one over all of the others, to me, I have an issue with that. I could embrace all. I can celebrate all, right? But I take issue with the statement made by Mrs. Prasad Bisesa. And to bring that in it, because she cannot say definitively that Mrs. Regis meant any racial offense. We know. You call out the person's whole name when you're home and you do something, and you get your mother upset. All of a sudden, she call out your whole government name. Come here. So you know when you hear your whole name, you're in some problems. It's serious. And so Mrs. Regis would have been making emphasis on the name. I'm calling out your whole name so you know it's you are talking to, and I want to make this point. So as I said before, so apparently Sushila is more Indian than all the other names, all of Mrs. Prasad Bisesa's other names. So don't call, she's so proud of Sushila, but don't call Sushila. Because the minute you mention Sushila, you're racist. So I wonder if her middle name was Janice, if her middle name was Michelle, and Mrs. Regis had said, Kamla Michelle Prasad Bisesa, would that have been racist? If her middle name was Helen, Kamla Helen Prasad Bisesa, would that have been racist? No. Why? Only because you consider Sushila, and it is an East Indian name, but you realize, hey, I have an opportunity here to blow the whistle. I ain't get that opportunity in a long while. Let me make use of it, right? And of course, the members of the literati will give her another free pass on this, as they always do, because to do otherwise is to damage the image of their party, which she is doing, but they don't really care. You know, they're going to continue to embrace her, as the gentleman called, I think it was last week, to say, God bless Kamla Prasad Bisesa, and when she come back as Prime Minister, everything will be good and the country will be good again. Right? Okay, you continue to wait for that. You hold on to that. But that party has a history of making statements like these. You all remember Jai Shima Leela Singh? You all remember him? His name has featured prominently in Reese's. He's some head of some confederation of something. When he made his statement about all they need to do is to round up a few Africans and just get them cricks and get a hose, get them a few pack of cricks and a hose so they could get water to drink. And they could rile them up, put them in Woodford Square, get them the cricks and the hose, and they get them riled up enough so that they could come out and protest against the PNM. Well, remember that? What did they do? At the time, he was sitting on the board of the, I think, CDA. I think he was subsequently removed because of the furor over that statement. And he was condemned by Basdio Pandey. Did Kamala Prasad Biswas ever condemn Mr. Leela Singh? I can't find it anywhere. She was probably not advised. Maybe she was on one of her 5-day weekends when it happened, so, do not disturb. Perhaps. But so many other statements that they make. So when it is that the Doglaya every day on his program want to give people middle names, so he calls Stuart Young Stuart Smallpin Young. What's the significance of that? Huh? That is not, what is the significance of that? So you're ascribing, you're a senator, a sitting senator, and you want to give the people middle name. So every week, every day, Stuart Smallpin Young. What that is about? That is not offensive. Now we can laugh at that. Yeah, boy. Get him, Anil. Get him. He will call the Minister of Public Utilities, Marvin, Likeman Gonzalez or some nonsense, so, right? Always making insinuations that the Minister of Public Utilities is a homosexual and all of that. That's not offensive. Marsha have no problem with that. Naked have no problem with that. With a colleague, every bloody day, going on his Doglaya politics program, going on his Doubles and Coffee program on a radio station, a national radio station, and talking that nonsense and that crap. That is not offensive. Nothing wrong with that. We will applaud that and we will laugh at that. Yeah, that's just good fun and humor. You have an issue with that. Right? You have an issue with that. None of the rest of them had anything to say until Kamala Prasad Biswas decided to mount the platform the Thursday night and make this racist. For the whole day, not one of them did a live on Facebook to say what Camille Robinson Reggie said was racist. None of them. The Doglaya didn't do it. Marsha didn't do it. Obika didn't do it. None of them. But it's only when Kamala says she was offended. Oh gosh, yes, it's racist. But 8 o'clock in the morning, we didn't have a problem. 12 o'clock in the day, we didn't have a problem with it. 4 o'clock, we didn't have a problem. 7, we didn't have a problem. But only when Kamala came on around after 8, 9 o'clock, and she decided to make it racist and make a problem, make it an issue. Oh, yes, leader. Yes, we see it's really an issue. Yes, it's racist. It's racist. We didn't notice that before. Yes, we heard it too, but we didn't realize that. It's only as you pointed out, we now realize it racist. Yes. Right. And even after that, nobody came to her defense. But only when they realized the PNM decided to use Marsha Wood, push back. All of a sudden, everybody feel the need to run out, to jump out themselves to defend Kamala. You say, oh, you all making yourself look like a pack on. Anyway, pothounds. Kamala's personal kennel of pothounds. So whenever she needs defense, and she cannot defend herself, what she will do? Run in the backyard by the Pink Palace and open the kennel and say, run out, Marsha, come. Come, Marsha. Hey, David. Come, David. Well, I ain't nothing from Wade Markyard, but he probably in the kennel too. Come, Wade. Wade, come on here. Run out. The PNM by the gate. Run. Idiots. We go to the ads. We'll be right back.
I know we've been distant lately. Yeah, I know that things been crazy. But here's what I've come to realize. When you really get your high, ooh, you just come alive. And you feel that feeling that's hard to describe. Oh yeah. So baby come down. No, I suppose we think till sundown. We go do what we want, anything. Oh, yeah. I taking my own on the road. Show me that way. I just let the music move your body. And you don't have to study nobody, baby. Can't keep doing what you like. Yeah. So when you really pick you up, it won't let you down. We'll have a real good time.
Tune in to The Street 919 FM every Friday from 9:15 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. with Kingdom Health Services, situated at number 125 Eastern Main Road in Tunapuna. For the program, Health and Healing, merging the old with the new with Mr. Brent Diet. For more information, call 318-7471 or 484-0141 or 360-4100. It's all about Kingdom Health Services on The Street 919 FM.
Join Pastor Kelvin Heinerine and friends for The Way, The Truth, The Life Radio Ministry, a Church of God ministry, live on The Street 919 FM from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. This and every Sunday on The Street 919 FM. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh to the Father except through me. John chapter 14, verse 6. For further information, contact 686-3845, 349-5178, or 342-7303.
What is Apex? It is the pinnacle of high-performance vision through a lens. It's clarity, no matter what angle you look at. It's comfort, no matter what you do all day, every day. And it's customized with every digital measurement your eyes require to see at their very best. Apex Digital Lenses by Value Optical, the ultimate lens design for your eyes. Value Optical, expert care for your eyes.
Tobago, the best psychic astrologer is here. Spiritual healing and psychic reading. Visit the most powerful specialist, Pandit Surya. He can help with the issues of relationship, marriage, money, health, lotto, enemy, business, and job. He is the expert in bringing back loved ones, court matters, and any other matters. Get rid of evil, any negativity, voodoo, black magic. 100% result guaranteed. To book an appointment, call or WhatsApp us at 1-868-332-7116. That number again is 1-868-332-7116. Or visit them today. They are located at Pui Avenue, Milford Road, Bonaccord, Tobago.
Police, good day. Officer Best Price here. Johnny Q Auto Parts Division?
Yes, sir.
I'm here to investigate an assault on batteries.
Excuse me, sir?
Is it true? You have batteries selling for $488?
Yes. Power Master, Optima, Vata, and Megastar batteries.
So I can buy a battery for $488?
Yes, sir. For cars, trucks, and boats. Backed and distributed by Massey Automotive.
Which part?
Right here at Johnny Q Hardware and Auto Parts Division, 15 Arabita Avenue, Woodbrook. And our new Johnny Q Superstore, located at Lowlands Mall off Claude Highway in Tobago. You could call 60 Tools.
All right. Thanks, boss. Nah, man. Granny, do you have $488 to lend, man?
Hi, what's up, TNT? This is Wayne Johnson out of Brooklyn, New York. I always wanted to do something back home, and we're going to be doing our gospel segment on Mondays from 10 p.m. to 12 midnight. That's 10 p.m. to 12 midnight on 91.9 FM. Listen what I want you to do. Spread the word. Spread the word, TNT. Salvation, full and free. Salvation is for everybody. Mondays from 10 p.m. to 12 midnight. That's 10 p.m. to 12 midnight on 91.9 FM.
If you're experiencing pain, constipation, headaches, poor blood circulation, high or low blood pressure, diabetes, cancer, swollen or darkened feet, come visit us at Health and Wealth Lifestyle, located at 73 Eastern Main Road, Barataria, opposite Eastern Credit Union. We at Health and Wealth Lifestyle offer a wide range of services. Come and experience our new 3D analyzer, which allows you to have a look inside your body. We also provide live blood analysis, iridology, ionic foot detox with foot soak and foot massage, aquatherapy, full body massage, and organic supplements on sale such as Nano Silver, Nano Zinc, Body Light, cold pressed sesame oil, and more. Health and Wealth Lifestyle, located at number 73 Eastern Main Road, Barataria, opposite Eastern Credit Union. For more information, call 275-8359 or 288-1108.
Join Nicole Huggins for Health and Wealth Lifestyle every Monday from 9:05 a.m. to 9:55 a.m. right here on the street 919 FM.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
And welcome back. Thank you for staying long. You know, there's so much to say on this, but the time wouldn't permit. But let me just address one issue. See, this is why I do like to read comments on the Facebook and the YouTube when I'm doing the program. So let me address Tudnath Meru. I believe he's a UNC counselor or something of that sort. I think they had said he was one of them who wanted some position on the Separia Regional Corporation or something, and he got blank after he was there long serving. Tudnath Meru. Here his comment, right? Here is fool. TSTT fire 400, but you're talking about Kamla, Dotish. Let me remind you of something. You know, I know I love back in times. Let me remind you of something. 400 people fired, and when we talk about that, right? I spoke about a couple days ago the fact that the UNC board, TSTT board, that they appointed under April Snaggs and the now member of parliament for Kuva North, Ravi Ratiram. Under them, they established a 5-year strategic plan that proposed to send home 25% of TSTT's workforce in over 5 years, right? At that time, TSTT's workforce was estimated at 2,800. So the UNC, the party that you support, Tudnath Meru, wanted to send home 700 workers. Did you have anything to say on that, Tudnath Meru? No, you were quiet as a mouth. Why? Because you were looking for position on the Superior Regional Corporation Board or whatever it is, the council. You wanted chairman or something like that, so you had nothing to say. Let me read something for you, Tudnath Meru. Send up my pressure here this morning. Not today, you know. Wrong one. Government to pay 22.6 million settlement to ex-URP workers. I hope you're listening to that. Government has been ordered to pay 22.6 million to ex-workers of the URP program after they were unfairly terminated under the previous People's Partnership government. Communications worker Stuart Young said in Thursday's post-cabinet briefing, approximately 450 ex-URP workers were terminated in a capricious manner from 2010 to 2011 without a proper reason or explanation. Young said the workers brought 2 trade disputes against government over unfair termination and acknowledged that workers deserve to receive their settlements as no reason had been given for the terminations. This is going to cost taxpayers $22.6 million, Young said. You didn't remember that, do not? Huh? Why they fired the 450 URP workers? Is it because they thought that they were PNM? Tell us that now. Comment on that now. You had any care or concern for these 450 URP workers? They weren't making the kind of money that some of these folks at TSTT were making. Do not. But you weren't concerned about them. You always like to talk about bread and butter and how the people who are on the ground and is single mothers and whatnot. You weren't concerned about them. Do not, Meru. $22 million that cost taxpayers because what? The party that you support fired these people without good cause, and the court found in their favor. Do not, Meru. Look, 342-008-146-653-91. Not today, no. Not today. Like to upset my spirit here. Your leader don't do that already. You don't come and add to it. Fix this. Nonsense, yes? Fine this. The lines are open, folks. Jenny, I saw you calling just now. Right. Jenny.
Hi, good morning, Dominic.
Morning.
I'm listening to 91.9. Everybody. I just want to ask Ms. Shushila, Kamla Shushila Prasadi sister. Is it that she feels that the name Shushila is sacred? Because when I was looking at some history here, it said that name is borne by the Hindu god's wife, Krishna Nyama. So is it that she feels that Shushila is sacred so that we, who carry we slave masters' name, that we can call that in we mouth, because I don't understand what Miss Camille Robinson Regis would have done wrong. How she would have insulted her. Because you walking in the road, your school friends who went to school with us call you by your whole government name. You call somebody by the whole name, it's supposed to be respected. You didn't call them Rawan.
Correct.
You didn't call them donkey, monkey, or what. So why are you so offended? So I'm asking Kamla Prasad Bisesa, is it that you feel Shushila is sacred and shouldn't be speak my Because if your logic is right, then Gregory and Winston and Stacy and Gerald and all of them would have taken slave master's name by choice, their parents. You don't have a problem with that. But I'll move on quickly. I want to tell young Tahaka or Bika that while you may carry my young brother an African name, your behavior is nothing more than a house Negro. You feel that because you're educated, you can speak to us who have our slave master's name still, as if we are uneducated in a condescending way. So your African name, which comes from a king, ain't doing nothing for you. And probably that is why you're taking down your life from last night, or whoever take it on, because you did not song. Your song as, you were saying, Dominic, like a potong running out to defend. And that is what has happened to the intellectual, black intellectuals, some of them. They feel they need to appear and sound like the quote-unquote slave master to be accepted in the higher realms when they speak to us who they feel on the ground here. So I want to tell him, don't come wrong with that talk with African name. We already know we have slave master name. All of we know that from since we're small. That ain't nothing new. Some of us choose to change it, some of us don't. But I will tell you, Marcus Messiah Garvey had slave master name, and he liberated a world. He liberated, his name is still called with his slave master name. Who have you liberated? Tahaka Obika. Weren't you in Parliament, in the highest land, esteemed place, and would have gotten on so badly with your African name, they had to put you out? So what you have an African name doing for you? You should change back your name to a slave master name, because you get it on just like Master Child. We, the field slave, we have elevated ourselves beyond just a name. So the name is not that important. We know who we are, and that is what is important to us. And again, show me where Miss Camille Robinson Regis would have said something wrong or racial or racist. Show me that, and they cannot. So let all of them pass you with the BS. And yes, we're not going to leave this matter just like this, and they could say what they want, that she tell the truth. So then what? Miss Camille Robinson Regis didn't tell the truth too? Isn't that your name, Kamla Shushila Prasad Bisesa? So Miss Camille Robinson Regis didn't tell the truth. You tell the truth by telling we have slave master name. And yes, we agree. So Miss Camille Robinson Regis didn't say the truth also. Oh, let pass me all the BS, Kamla Shushila Prasad Bisesa. Your name is no holier than thou. Shushila giving you that name don't make you holier than thou, because as I leave, I want to tell you, when the Dalits came to Trinidad, all they just want to deny that. The lowest caste here, a lot of them take Brahmin names and higher names because they know, or they didn't know one another, and they know having those type of names, what it meant. So in India, they will not call you no Shushila, because that is not your Maya and your Peter. When they come here, great, grand, whatever, they didn't come here with them prestigious Brahmin names. So please, know all the history. Nobody injects it all. They would have done very well in this society, and we love our Indian brothers and sisters. But don't step to we and tell we about we history when all they don't want to acknowledge all their own. We ain't accepting that, and it's still a love. It's still red, black, and white 100%. It's not all Indians that behave like that. But those who do, don't feel we're just going to sit back silently and say, this is small thing. The Africans who call themselves Africans who want to do it, like the business. So the walkers and the naked and those who obikas and all them, all they continue living in the matrix and tell all themselves, let me continue singing for Master now because we want to be one of them. We out at that long time ago.
Thank you very much, Jenny. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Dominic.
Good afternoon, sir.
A round of applause there for Janina.
Yes.
Yes, Janine need a round of applause.
Definitely.
You understand? listen, let me tell you something, right? Concerning this issue, firstly, if the woman who you played there just now was really a black woman and wasn't trying to be black by adding name and whatever she wants to feel, if she was really black, she would know that in the black culture, when they call, as you rightfully described, when they call out your whole name, it signifies an importance, especially when it comes to trouble, of how much trouble you're in. Because our parents used to call us by our whole name only when it is we do something really bad and they need to draw our attention. They call your whole name. Now, I have slave master name because my first name is from the Spanish slave master and the last name is a French adaptation of the Chinese name. So I have a slave master name, but I wouldn't change the slave master name. You know why? And black people, let me explain on you something. All those who pure black than me, you have to be proud that you were able to survive the abuse of the slave master. And although they did everything to destroy you, you were able to rise like a phoenix from the ashes. So keep the name. The name is a remembrance of your overpowering and overcoming, your tenacity, your temerity. So be proud of that. Because that is your now heritage of the ability that you had to overcome the oppression that you all face. And I should say we face. Because though I'm not pure black, I have black. And whatever is happened there, I'm still proud. And I will keep that slave master name because it reminds me that my foreparents would have overcome all the evil that was done to me. What they overcame, I'm sorry to go there, but what did they overcome? The history says that they ran from a period of time of famine that was causing mass deaths. And they took the opportunity to come here to get a better life. Now they want to abuse people who were brought here under stress and pressure. We did not come on the same ship. Folks, for all who want to say that, while we came on a boat, but we didn't come on the same boat. Because you all wouldn't pack like sardines. You weren't thrown overboard if it is they're running down the boat because it was illegal. You all weren't thrown overboard. You all weren't whipped to change your culture. You weren't raped and abused in the manner in which it is the Africans were. So we didn't come on the same ship. We came on a different ship in a different time period. So you all could want to see that you feel that you're better than us. But you cannot be, because we didn't run away from our land because of problems. We were forced to come here because of some other people's greed. And you didn't come here. I heard plenty people talking about that they brought the indentured laborer here to increase the productivity. And if it is you go back in history, Dominic, you should know that in Jamaica, that theology was exploded to be wrong.
Yes.
Because they had more indentured laborer there. Why? And what happened? The productivity decreased. Or they catch all this up. They were brought here to prevent the uprising for another Haiti. Look at your history. There are 5 reasons recorded in history in England as to why the indentured laborer was brought here. One of them was to equal the balance from the amount of Africans who were now free so that they wouldn't overpower their slave masters. Or they look at the people all they have and I say, do not come to try and abuse people and then tell them that you're giving them something. No. Have a nice day, Dominic.
Thank you, sir. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Dominic.
Good afternoon, sir.
Well, this morning I'm mad. Kamala is just downright racial and mean. She always say she heart pure and she hand clean. But she called the Aruka Member of Parliament, WPC, Camille Robinson Regis. But as she call you by your name, you start getting horrors. How you get your name from your ancestors. Will it stop you from kissing the foot? But how Camille got her from a slave master? Kamala, when you walk in a bit, you calculating, you dribbling, wipe your mouth. You is the perfect definition of Nimakaran. It was Arthur Napoleon Raymond Robinson with that same slave master named Robinson that give you political life in the NAR. He tried his utmost to instill moral and spiritual values in you, but he failed to get it in your grey goose head again.
Thank you, sir. Hello, good afternoon.
Good day, Dominic.
Greetings.
Dominic, you know what I don't understand?
Mm-hmm.
With the craziness of this lady.
Yes.
Look at how many people she have in her cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
With the same kind of slave name, like what she want to say, we have slave name.
Yes.
You understand? Because Wade is not a, whatever name she want to say it, Wade.
Yes.
All these kind of names. All these sort of names is slave names. So she's speaking out with her own people too.
Mm-hmm.
So but according to him saying, check yourself before you wreck yourself. Okay?
She's pathetic. No, it reminds me of when Dr. Rowley was leader of the opposition. And he had attended one of the events at the Diwali Nagar. He was invited to speak. And remember, there were several UNC politicians at the time who refused to turn up. And they say, watch him. He put on kurta and want to come to the Diwali Nagar to come and address people. Yeah? And he's a hypocrite. We putting on kurta for. I remember that. And they decided not going there. If Rowley going, we not going. Because he's a hypocrite to come and put on East Indian way to come to the Diwali Nagar and talk to us. Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, my brother. Good afternoon. Good
Yes,
afternoon,
sir.
listeners, the silent listeners, the callers, the viewers, and the live, everybody. Dominic, that woman, Sushma Sushila Prasad, right, is one of the country's most racist leaders I ever hear, because that woman has so much undertone from since she lost election in 2015. So she begged that Dr. Rowley, Dominic, what kidding them is that how Dr. Rowley ended up winning this second term is that what had them feeling sick right now. So they had this venom to come out and lambaste the African people. But we, as African people in this country, we have to be proud for who we are, right? And you see what she said there? That we have back memories of our days as being slaves. But nevertheless, Sushma Sushila Prasad, go and learn the history of your culture and your people now, and then you will know how to come and talk about other people's race and ethnicity, right? Dominic, I want to give people a little brief description of my name. I am proud of my name. My name is Eric. I'm going to give people a little history of my name and where it originated from, right? Eric is a typical masculine name that means forever ruler or always a ruler. It's an old Norse name derived from the Norse Eriki, which means a sole ruler or ever powerful, which means the Eric name can trace to the Norse origin. So Sushma Sushila Prasad says that go and find out what Sushma means now, and go back and let me know. Dominic, I locked on this man.
Thank you, sir. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Dominic. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. It's me and his brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And we arguing, and you tell me, well, I have our father name. Why you have your stepfather name? Wait a second, man. It's two women arguing. Right?
Yes.
Two sisters arguing. And one say, I have my father name, but you have the name of the man who raped him.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a second, I need to tell me. One, I'm lower than you.
Yes.
Two, you're inferior to me. Three, I can't respect your dread. It's hard to respect somebody who come from that kind of, you know? So I better than you because I have my ancestor's name and you have the name of the man who rape and kill and butcher your father. It's true, no? But you kick him a while down, boy. You adding insult to injury, dread. Nobody never call out your name to insult you, sister. We call you out because of your lack of morals and spiritual values. As a leader in this country, who still have the deaf, the dumb, and the blind listening to you and following you, like Skippy and Kingsley, political idiots to the max, dread. Because we're all the leader in this country, not going astray. The fact that the Prime Minister told you that 2% is a starting point, and we have to do things in a way considering that if this war was to end while we increase all the salaries, how are we going to maintain it? All they realize is what you're trying to tell all your brothers. If the IMF going and come here, you have to do your maths. Maths is maths is the main subject in everything. Once you know maths and understand maths to a level, you will understand any situation. All right or wrong, Dominic?
You're correct.
Right? It's the IMF coming here. So we're going back to Mr. Sheila. This is Prasad. I like that name too. That's a beautiful name. There's nothing wrong with that. But that is not what the point was about. It was about your lack of moral and spiritual values. You have no respect for the black people in this country. Over and over you do it, sister. It's a tradition with people like you since back in the days of Capilio. And that gangster called Badis Maraj. You understand? But it's only why you turn it around and you make it into a racial thing, and that's what we're trying to stop in this country, Dominic. We're trying to get everybody together so we could understand we're living on one piece of rock, and let me move forward. How much forward, boy? We could go when we continue to have leaders like these, Modilal and the likes, boy. Oh, God. All your way Henry Dung, Gerald. All your way Henry Dung. What about all the servant, man? Me no racist, boy, but the force only dealing with is definitely different from my force. Yes, sir, because the force I dealing with, the doctrine of Christ, which is more a livelihood than a personality. Right? It don't know bondsman, it don't know Indian, it don't know African, it don't know rich, it don't know poor. What we're trying to say now, boy, we treat each other as human beings. That is the philosophy I grew up with. Right? But the philosophy some other people trying to bring into the country is to make us see, use them, and we is we. I ain't going to stay too long, you know. But what I want to say in closing up, I know plenty East Indian brothers and sisters who changed the name to move up in the society, whether they be Presbyterians or Roman Catholics. I sure you know a number of them, Dominic.
Yes.
I wonder how they felt when this woman uttered that statement. I feel she had to stop drinking the brand of water she drinking, because that brand liquid she drinking is not agreeing with you. You're saying things that are making you and your family look bad, sister. You make your people feel shame. And all of them were trying to come out there and always talking about Dr. Rowley to say things that not becoming of a prime minister. Oh, Dr. Rowley, boy, I could go anywhere with Dr. Rowley and feel proud. But that's what posing as opposition leader. But you just make your whole family feel shamed, Jed. You understand? I just talk in a particular way too, you know. I don't care about who like and who don't like. I just know I talk the truth, and that's the main thing when it comes to the creator and sustainer life, when it comes to that. And that is why you see, Dominic, that ensure the hatred continue. Because when they do things based on issues and values and morals, they can't stand up no time. So that they continue teaching the children and the children to hate and despise and stereotype certain type of people. So some people in the PLM and people like the Prime Minister, they could never, ever get any type of support or respect from certain people in this country. And I don't know how we're moving on from here, but we have to pray plenty, and we have to fast plenty, and we have to think positively. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, Dominic.
Good afternoon, sir.
Dominic, but I think she's shifting from the issue. But Kamala Prasad Sessa can't get away with this. Kamala Prasad Sessa was telling people that there's a pedophile ring in the PNM. And it came out after the report is in somewhere 25 years ago.
Yes.
That the UNC did a probe into the children being abused and those things, and a file came out, and I think 25 years after, when Dr. Rowley's administration had a same thing like that, and that's when we get to know there were also one done way back when under Bazio Pandey, which Kamala Prasad was a cabinet member. Now, most of the cabinet members and then say they don't know anything about it, and everybody have a different story, and so nothing adding up, right? But Kamala Prasad is telling us that there is a pedophile ring in the PNM. So if you know that, because UNC had a thing there, you will never bring this forward, you never use it on the campaign, you never do nothing with it, but you know it. But you're talking about this now. When the minister, Ms. Reggie, asking you, Kamala, Shushila, Prasad, Bisessa, where is the ring? Go to the police, name the person. You know, she ain't seen nothing. She ain't talking about that at all. So the whole conversation changed because she decided, look, listen, I can't do that, you know, because I call anybody name. Because she's Essie. She knows she called anybody name and suing she tells. So she can't call nobody name. But what she doing is she putting in the public domain that as people who pedophiles in the PNM. No, because she was a part of our investigation and she would have seen. And that is because if you listen to some of these imps and chimps from the UNC when they're talking, they're telling you that a pedophile has been taken because Kamala says so. So now that you call she out, and they call she out by she name, answer the question. I telling you, call name, tell me who to it. You can't do it. You know what she do? You blow the dog whistle. They making token racist comments about she name. But this woman, when I see this woman, them just call Dr. Oli Rottweiler. Them come down in Big O Martin down here on a stage and put a dog up, put a sign on it, Rowley. You understand the kind of chopping and standing there?
Yes.
This woman stand up on a thing talking to she based and talking about the black man on the other side. And then the Rowley's are Oreo and keep repeating it. What you want your base to think? How you want your base and them to respond? Because when you're on the social media, when they peddling the lies and they're giving them the facts and the truth, they have started hitting them thing, your Oreo Prime Minister, your Rottweiler Prime Minister, all these sort of things, and it keeps staying up under the UNC, under Kamala Prasad leadership, and she cannot stand up there as the opposition leader, the leader of the party, and don't take responsibility for the behavior of a minister and her base. Because look at me, you have Anna Roberts has his program. You hear this guy that gets on? I don't listen to them first and them at all. They have paid programs on these stations with some fellas and then they'll be saying all kind of nasty things. All these things, your party is paying people to go on a radio station to disrespect the Prime Minister. Call him all kind of racist names. Everything in the book you think in it, but your name, that you should be proud of, because that is a lovely name. I love that name. I know a customer of mine some long time, I used to deal with on Charlotte Street, and she had a store called Shushila, because her name was Shushila. One pleasant East Indian lady, and very beautiful. Not like Kamala Prasad Sessa. So I'm just telling all you, she never answered the question. She needs to name the fathers in PNM, and she can't name the people in them. What are you doing? You are the opposition leader. You're somebody as the post because you can't handle it. You're disgusting, Ms. Kamala Prasad. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Disgusting indeed. Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, Dominic.
Yes,
good
sir.
Afternoon to our dear listeners this Sunday.
Greetings.
And greetings to you, man. I'm glad you put context to the whole thing because even the sister who made the video, you know, those are the people that are the Candace Owens and the people that are consider themselves honorary whites and strong people who stand in the middle of moral upbringing and, you know, come and said nothing wrong. You know why? You have no heritage. You have no sense of belonging. You don't understand slavery. And I'm glad you played Kunta Kinte, you know, from that point in time because people feel it was just a movie. And that's my problem in Trinidad. It's not so much the people, the cronies that follow in the UNC that I had to deal with on social media yesterday. And then, you know, when you're dealing with them in full paragraph with information, they start giving you one line with brainwash and that kind of thing because they can't carry on the conversation and debate transcends that into the UNC and how they operate. You know fully well that when the debate is strong, the response is names. So you get into Ms. Robinson Regis, who, very articulate, would make a point on the political platform. And this was the black sister with the video who was taking care of a child. And let her understand that you cannot be so stupid to not understand that on the political platform, if I were to say, Kamala so-and-so be sister, let me tell Mr. Keith Christopher Rowley something. Dominic, you address meetings, you would know that when you're making a point, you call the name out to really have impact.
Yes.
That's what you do.
Which is why I mentioned she's always talking about Fitzgerald Ethelbert Hines.
That's correct. That's correct. And, you know, it draws you to the attention as to what she's going to say next. So, Ms. Robinson Regis was making that point, and a black sister making a video. I'm talking about embarrassment. So, if I call your name out in full, what's the embarrassment to this uneducated sister that's making the video? And I want to tell her, go and take care of your child, because you're ready yet. And all, Dominic, my problem wasn't the cronies, you know. My problem is African people, even Twiggy jump out. And that's what I'm telling people. African people so displaced that they don't even know about their heritage. Your question of slavery, they feel it's a movie. They don't know the realness. That's how Kamala Prasad would sit there during a function by the Indian cultural people, invited the Prime Minister, and they didn't come, a form of disrespect. And then when she took the platform, without having proper protocol, told the crowd, an East Indian crowd doing a religious function, a religious function. And that woman said, they take one of us. That woman there, that all they want to run Trinidad and Tobago, where I am a citizen, and I keep telling them, the UNC, you can't tell me, Dominic, in this Trinidad and Tobago, where there's so much educated and well-organized East Indian people that the best they could come up with is Kamala Prasad. And all you can't really remove her to understand that culture and biases that she's showing against African people. Of course, you have the token black. You will always get token blacks. I keep saying that. You will always get a black for $2. Weigh $5 and a black will join you. And me lying. I want to tell you this too. Not because everything is fact. If you feel it's fact, that slavery and we have a European name. If I were to bring out facts about Hinduism, about Islam, about Christianity, there's a thing about tolerance. I can't just jump out and say something. Whoopi Goldberg was suspended for 2 weeks for making something about the Holocaust. Even though the Jews rich, their legacy on the Holocaust is something that they guard cautiously. She was suspended by ABC on The View. They took it seriously. In Trinidad, African people don't understand that Kamala Prasad disrespected a black sister on the whole question of a name she called on a political platform to make a point. And a stupid African sister sitting with her child. And I understand that you disrespect a black sister. And Jenny was correct. The gentleman from Obika something, he pulled it down. You know why? He too was going to justify, Dominic, something wrong with African people. And if all you feel you all are Esau's children, all you had to get some kind of bathing in pee, Kananga water or something, brother. Something wrong with us, boy. How we can't see, listen, there is, listen, I want to tell people before I end, that you see race, people protect their race vehemently, you know. With the strength, you know. You go south in America, you know that them people so racist. They don't make joke, you know. So when you hear, and you know you went through, Dominic, you went through slave trade movement. I read that in history and couldn't understand it. It was so hurtful. A people just hurt people. That's how it was. And that woman sat on a platform who wanted to run Trinidad and Tobago and disrespect a black sister. And you know who accepting it and defending it? Black people. Something wrong with us. Dominic, thanks so much, brother. But I want black people to understand something, eh? All they need to do introspection. All they need to put all their life in order. And all they need to understand heritage. If they don't understand that, then you're just token. Take care, brother. Thank you.
Thank you.
I take long, but I had to.
Thank you. Well, based on our poster, Hako Bika Patode, Makandal Daga probably turning in his grave. Hello, good afternoon.
I must say good afternoon to you, Dominic.
Kingsley.
Yes, man. And I must say good afternoon to you at this time. I must say, some people are saying that the narrative that the narratives are saying that people should change the name to African names if they're so offended. And I think that statement is a defense statement to defend as Raul Jr. say, it was a disrespectful statement. I have concern about people saying that it should change your name. If they don't like the name, the thing in there, why don't you change your name? Foolishness. Them who saying it and change the name. So foolishness. Them who saying that who first about because I am, you know that UNC leave me, I never leave the UNC. I'm UNC, I'm proud. You know, but I do not agree with the statement, or this statement was laid out on a platform. I do not agree with it. But to say that Kamala Prasad is racist because she make a statement like that, I cannot join in the people who want him. Because I hear David Mohammed, not this Saturday, last Saturday, but Saturday back. And he come out in defense of Foster Cummings and ask what kind of attack they are attacking Foster Cummings like that. And he says he's not defending Foster Cummings because Foster Cummings is a PNM. Because David Mohammed is an African conscious real black man. He doesn't know UNC African or no PNM African. He's an African man. Right? And he said, but under all the calls he getting with these Africans calling on my program, joining him, he want them to defend Geraldine John, Rodney Charles, and all other Africans in this country or in the UNC like the same. Don't only when the UNC Africans being attacked, the Africans in the UNC come out and defend Geraldine John and attacking the Africans in the PNM. And that is what we have to change. Right? My name is Kingsley. I do my research not today, but long time, because at the end of the day, I am African conscious, and people see that how Kingsley, why ain't change your name? And what is the reason why I would change my name? I don't want to go to Africa. But the point is that I understand what my ancestors and my brothers been through. These names was forced on to them and passed on to us. You know what I mean? To go and change the name. No, everybody, whoever, Indian, African, Chinese, whoever want to go and change the name is the right to change the name, because I know if Indians change the name to African names, to white man names, to slave man names, whoever, but they say that Kingsley, why am I going to change your name? Why am I going to change your name? I'm not going to change your name. But as I close, again, I disagree. I support for calling apology on the statement that she made against the Minister of Housing. But I cannot paint Kamala Persad-Bissessar as a racist for that statement she made, because to me, I can say, 5 years I spent in the UNC, I can say in the high seat as a low man, sit down in the hierarchies, eat, drink, talk with wherever. I can say with me, I never see a racist from Kamala. I could point people else, I could say other people show me racist, you see them racist, they act racist, and they are racist. So, Dominic, I thank you very much.
Thank you, Kingsley. All right, before I take this call, so I see on the favorite page, kick out the PNM, there's a guy by the name of Daryl Hiralal, right? Here we put what the PNM really meant, what the PNM lady really meant when she repeated Kamala Sushila Persad-Bissessar. Here's his interpretation. What that low-class cane cutting, crab catching, lagoon coolie doing down in town? She should be in she only making gubar down in the lagoon, and if she come to town, is to tote we box with marketing. There I fixed it, so all them self-serving PNMites would be clear about what they've been taught and what they practice daily. Boy, anyway. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, my dear Dominic.
Hi, Carol.
How are you, my dear?
I'm good, and yourself?
Well, so far, so good. Hey, you carrying a slave master name too?
Yes.
all are we in it together?
Yes.
Let me tell you, you know what I have realized? A lot of African people have lost their dignity and their pride. You remember the tunes that this man, Mighty Duke, made? And Proud. No, James Brown. Black and Proud. Right? Also Mighty Duke. Say it loud. Right? This man said, say it loud. He's black and proud. And Mighty Duke talk about black dignity and so on. And look at the glass and all this kind. To uplift people of African descent. Now they have lost it. Man cussing you very subtly. And you can't understand what's going on with you. What is happening? You're being insulted. No wonder some people to get accepted in the UNC doing certain things. There's a particular woman, a bright woman, you see she had to change, she changed her image to be accepted. And behind your back, man, they're laughing at you and calling you the worst names. And that's what people don't understand. So when you attack a parliamentarian, right, and say them kind of thing, what they leave for people like Kingsley just called and said things, go in front of your face, behind your back, you're getting it left, right, and center. I have friends in the UNC, and they tell me, behind closed doors, man, you're giving it to you. This lady now, she coming out and talking it out. Number one, she starts with Dr. Rowley. And you know thing about it, we don't say nothing. We take it. We soak it up like a sponge. You understand? I could tell you in UE, the history has it, the ancestors who came here from the other side were what you call untouchable. They were Dalits. And so who came here? And you know, in there, there's a caste system. So the lowest of the lowest came to the Caribbean to cut cane. They were what you call looking for economic benefits. Now with Africans, we were kidnapped and brought in chains. Because Africa, as you know, Dominic, is a rich continent. Everybody going down there. Mahatma Gandhi went down there. The Chinese, the Europeans, the white man, they go on and they rape Africa. We come from a line of kings and queens. We didn't come here willingly. We didn't ask to come here. But the other people begged to come here because they were the lowest of the lows. And they begged to come here. You understand? For economic benefit. And it's right there in UE. It is written in the history book. Right there. So my lineage is that of kings and queens. You understand, Dominic boy?
Yes.
You come from a line of kings and queens, champions. They kidnap you, they put a gun to your head. They kidnap you, and in those times, they would have called it human trafficking, like what they're calling it now. Human trafficking for African people. So, my lady, leader of the opposition, if you know your history, you would know that African people didn't come here willingly. We were kidnapped, okay, and brought here in chains with a gun at your head and so on, right? So show respect to African people. And I don't have to go and change my name to prove anything, you know. You could look at me and see I'm black and proud. And they're all proud people. But some people selling it for $5, just like Judas. For 50 pieces of silver, they dangle it in your face. They ain't care. Some of them ain't care of African descent. Don't care if they're calling you all kind of name behind your back. But you're taking this filthy lucre. You're taking that filthy lucre. And what, you're feeling something? Hello? No? You know when I know that you're in something? When they show you respect, when they put you in different positions, and honor you and so on, then I will know that they're showing you respect. But you dangling filthy lucre in front of my face, and you feel like that they really care about you at all. So this thing is so sad. I mean, you know, Dr. Rowley always said, loose lips, the sink ships, eh? You hear me, Dominic?
Yes, yes.
Loose lips, the sink ships, you know? And this kind of talk can lead to all kind of things. But because we are a tolerant people, you call Dr. Oreo all kind of name, black man, Oreo, right? When you say Oreo, what you mean by Oreo? We know what it means. And all kind of different names. Never responded. Nobody respond. But they call you Susela. And the leader of the opposition gone crazy. You say all kind of thing about people. And you gone mad? When you give, you must learn to take too. You see? But we have dignity, and we are proud of our blackness. And we come from a land of champions, a land of wealth, a continent of wealth. And we were kidnapped and brought here. We come here for economic gains, like some others. The Chinese come here for economic gains, the Syrian, the Indian people, all of them come here for economic gains. Even though we had the Venice coming for economic gain, the only people who didn't come here in the Caribbean and the North America for economic gain was African people, because we had wealth. We belong to kings and queens. We come out of that kind of lineage. You understand?
Yes.
So, my dear, so blessings. I wouldn't say get out of my chest, boy. Only don't know your history.
Yes.
All who came begging, not African people. They trained we up. They put a gun to our head and brought us here. And the Brits and them do that. That's why they owe us reparation. And you know, this man has a calypso talked us. He wants his grandfather back pay. They owe us money, the Brits. That's why in Jamaica, when the Brits went to Jamaica, people protested. And the prince had to say that slavery was a wrong thing. It was a bad thing. It should not have happened. Well, they owe us the money to go with it now. The grandfather back pay. Thank you, sweetheart.
Thank you, Carol. Barataria.
My brother.
Yes.
Morning.
Morning.
Let me load on a bit. Because, you know, you buy Ramsaran still?
Never did, sir.
All right. This is where we started. That whole history, Carol, we've been down that road. We now living today. And we understand all that. Jenny explained all that. So let me see if I could put me in a particular way with my dollar. Since you can't respect me, you have to respect my economic wealth now. But I stopped by that. When I was going to school, they used to give me money. I stopped by it a long time. And worse now. So I would say now, it is time that we, since we are so disrespected by a political leader, let me explain us something. This didn't come. What is the meaning of her name? That name, Susila, that she's talking about. Do you know the meaning of that? I heard mother give us the meaning sometime.
It means good-tempered and well-disposed.
Does that lady seem to have that character?
No, sir.
So, really and truly, she's disrespecting her ancestors based on her behavior?
Yes.
So then we throw that out the door. So then we know. This is a Hinduism. Kingsley, you are now living in a dream world. this is a Hindu-led party. And Hinduism that is why when they came here, of the lowest class, as we all understand, they changed their name. And they changed their name based on their, let me tell you, based on their complexion. Based on the skin tone, they changed the name and uplift the standard if they earn a little money and become Brahmins. Right? And after that, anybody else, they're looking for a fair daughter-in-law or a fair son-in-law to marry into in order to keep that color, in order to keep that name. We have to understand that right here first. Right? I don't want to be as long as Carol. So Kingsley who come to give me that story to tell me about she is not racist, but the statement. So if the statement, why would you make a statement like that if your mindset or your belief is not based on that? How would that resonate in your mind to come out in front of a group of people that you are leading and asking the same slave people to vote for you? You, the handbag toting man who tell me you didn't experience any racism. How that could be? Because it falls back to what, you see the Mohammed didn't come out yesterday? Because I was waiting on him. So he came out a clip to tell me about Port of Spain and they ain't changed the name. Why you ain't take a placard and going to and ask the mayor to change some of the name? And we might join you. So he ain't come out. So Kingsley came me back to tell me that here what's going on. When you talk, don't talk about Geraldine John. I had to talk about Geraldine John because Geraldine John is in a party that come give me section 34 to free 4 people that fight an extradition treaty for 20 years for corruption. And she turned around with a man and sell a piece of land with a man in EMBD or wherever, he don't make his jail and inside. That is why we talk about them. We don't criticize them, we criticize what they support. 2 different things, black people. 2 different things. We don't beat down Geraldine John or we don't beat down. I have a man come in my parliament on Friday. You heard Rodney Charles on Friday?
No, I didn't.
Did you hear the response to the Prime Minister to Rodney Charles? And here for what? Because we want to keep, what do they call it? What kind of workers? Skilled workers to move around the Caribbean to come to Trinidad. So they bring a bill to the parliament to allow skilled workers to move around freedom to come to Trinidad. Them fellas don't want that. They're telling you that can't happen. Because if a man come and he come with the wife and he come with the this and the Prime Minister explain here we're going to be trying to open up the Caribbean to make one border. Everybody, one movement. And you know the reason for that is? Because you ever tell me, Vincentian and Grenadian come here and they put them in Lavantil, and them had the crime in Lavantil, and that's how the PNM keep winning the election. So them have a problem if people of African descent, because mostly people around the Caribbean besides Guyana and Suriname is of African descent. Grenadian, Bajan, Vincentian, you name it, is of African descent. And if they start to come here, what will think going to happen if they tell themselves they start to live here and they make children here? They have more Africans than Indians then. And because of that, their chances of winning the election is almost nil. That's how they see it, because all Africans will support. That's why they're telling me, right now in Tobago, the reason why Pali joined up with the PNM, that's why nobody can get locked up with the zip line, because everybody is family. Black people all wake up now. Kingsley, where you living? So I not going by bag one thing. I ain't buying no doubles until I hear somebody within the Hindu community come out and say, yeah, what's going on. We don't want that leader of that woman as the leader of the party because of the statement they make. My money stays in my pocket. We want to do something. That's the only thing we could do. That's the power we have as black people. Stop from tomorrow morning. You pick and choose your taxi you get into.
All right, we are leaving there, brother. The ads come up.
Sorry, my brother. Enjoy your day.
Yeah, man, you too. So out of time, not out of things to say, please join Sharon and Bruce in the morning. I'll be back with you, God's willing, on Tuesday. I'm out.
919 FM as he talks